Yo, what's up guys? We are back at it, and today I want to show you how to install your windscreen on your Piaggio or Vespa scooter. This is the FACO fly screen windscreen. Costs around $230, but this thing is quality. I'll show you here what we're going to need first. We're going to need a monkey wrench throughout the process later, as well as a hex key, and we're going to need the 7/64 inch tool. Alright, Allen wrench, hex key, whatever you want to call it. We'll need one of those later. So now we're going to work on our stems. We want to make sure the grating is facing outwards for the right stem as well as for the left. We want to make sure that area, the grating there, is facing outwards. So starting on the right side, first we're going to grab our spacer and we're just going to line it up accordingly. You can see how it's oriented. We're going to twist it all the way to where it stops at the bottom. This might take a moment, so just keep on twisting, twisting, twisting. Perfect. And next we're going to take our beveled washer, oriented as such, and place it right on there. Next we have our expansion plug, and this just goes right on top of that. And now we have this component here, same thing. We're going to make sure the grating is facing outwards, and it's notched just as it lines up with the stem there, so it lines up perfectly and just rests on there. Same thing, facing outwards. Okay, and then now we just have a little spacer, little washer, put it on the bolt, little washer on the bolt, screw it in there just by hand. And then we're gonna want to take our monkey wrench in a second here and just tighten it all the way down until it's got no more room to go. So once we tighten that bolt all the way good and tight, you can see here everything's pretty much locked in there good, and you can see how it kind of works as far as the spacer. When you twist it, it's going to cause that expansion plug to expand, and that's what's going to hold it in the scooter. So now we'll do the same thing for the left side. We're going to take our spacer, same thing, twist it, twist it, twist it all the way down. Perfect. Now we get our beveled washer again, place it just like so. We get our expansion plug. We get that little extra component, make sure it's facing outwards once again. Line up the grooves, it's gonna make it face outwards. Exactly. And then now we get our little washer, we get our bolt, we do the same old. Twist it right on by hand first, and then in a moment we'll twist it and tighten it all the way down with our wrench. Perfect. So now we've got our left stem, we got our right stem, and now we want to place these little rubber grommets right into the windscreen. These 4 little holes, you just have to find the angle, kind of squeeze it in there. This will be vital for later, so it's easy just to set it up now so you don't have to do it outside. Takes a moment, but it's not too bad. You just squeeze it in, check both sides, make sure it's lined up. And we're going to do this for all 4 little ports here. Nice, so now we've got all 4 of these rubber grommets in there. The windscreen is ready to go. Let's take this bad boy outside and get it on. Alright, so now we're going to take our right side stem and we're going to line it up with the port located near the right turn signal on the fairing. And we're just going to make sure we first turn it to the side and then turn it upwards. And then that kind of locks it in place. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side here. We're going to take our stem, we're going to angle it a little bit to the right side, and then just crank it up gently. That's going to somewhat lock it in place. Perfect. So now we take our little fixings here. There's 4 of them. We're going to slide 2 down on each one of the stems here. This is what's going to line up the windscreen and attach it to these holders later, but we'll do the same thing over here. And now what we're going to want to do is just tighten the spacers by hand, give it a little torque so that way we can get these stems in the right spot so we can line up the windscreen with it. You know, we might need to use a wrench if we need a little more torque. Sometimes just using it by hand, won't do it. So get the wrench if you need it, but don't tighten it super tight. Now we're going to want to line up the windscreen and try to adjust the stems so they line up with those black spacers with the black rubber grommets. What I'm gonna do is just place the screws into the face covers here, and that way we can line it up with the rubber grommets a little easier, and then we can line up the stems with the grommets. It takes a little bit of a back and forth. You're gonna get a little frustrated, don't worry, just take your time, try to line up the little screws with the fixings. Start with the bottom and then start with the top. Try to tighten everything just a little bit by hand first, and then slowly make adjustments here and there. It's gonna take a little bit of trial and error at this point, but try to line up everything just by hand first and just tighten gently, just so we start to get things in the right position. Once things are kind of where they should be, we're gonna tighten with our little Allen wrench just a little bit, not all the way down, all 4 screws, line up everything, and now we want to make sure the clearance, when we turn the handlebars all the way left, all the way right, clears the fairing. We don't want that bumping, so you might have to lift up the screen, make some more adjustments here. You can see on the back where the positioning of the fixings are. It's almost near the top of the stems, so you don't want the fairing, like I said, hitting the windscreen. So now that it's in a good position, I'm going to tighten once again with the wrench these spacers, but this time I'm going to give it a proper amount of torque. They say giving it between 4.5 and 7 Newton meters of torque, but you can take it for what it is. And now once you've done that, I'm going to tighten up these screws one more time, peel off the little tab here, peel off the sticker, real satisfying, clean it off with a little Goo Gone, and now we have got a beautiful screen. Rock on, bye bye.